too small, I got big dreams.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pun Fun, where we have fun with the puns. My name is Ryan, and we're going to check out episode 4 of the Marvel series What If. If you have not yet seen episode 4 of the Marvel series What If, please be sure to do so, as there are major spoiler alerts ahead. We also suggest you check out Doctor Strange movie, basically because this episode ties in with a lot of elements, and you definitely want to check it out, because if not, you're definitely going to be lost. So, that being said, we're going to talk about how Christine foreshadowed basically this episode within her little pep talk that she has with Steven before the little accident. We're also going to talk about how Steven also derails and basically climbs on board the cuckoo train. So woo-woo. He basically also has this weird duality with Wanda, so I'll explain that in a little while. We're also going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home and how Doctor Strange doesn't really seem like himself, wink wink. And no, I'm not going to say it's Agatha. I'm not also going to say it is Mephisto. I mean, it could be Wanda though. But nah, there is something bigger going on, and I think it's meant to happen. Anyways, we'll get into that. We're also going to talk about some new vocabulary that we've learned. Today's letter is brought to you by the letter A. So we're going to definitely show you the words that we've learned. And we're also going to talk about where the hell is the TVA? Because we saw it all across the internet, throughout the YouTube, but it was not in episode 4 of the Marvel series What If. Let's get into it. First of all, we're going to talk about Christine. So Christine basically has a conversation with Doctor Strange as they are going to their little soiree. And yeah, she basically tells him, hey, the little speech you had with all those little formalities, knock it out, go straight to the heart. And that's what he does. He forgets everything and really focuses on his heart, which in this case is Christine, to do everything to get her back. So yeah, that's a lot of foreshadowing right there. She also talks about The Price is Right. So The Price is Right, if nobody knows, Doctor Strange didn't know what it was, and I was like taken back. I was like, how do you not know what The Price is Right is? Anyways, that being said, basically Doctor Strange is going to go down this path where he's going to try many, many doors, and there's only going to be one winning door. Well, he thinks there's only one winning door. However, he doesn't know if he's actually ever going to win, and that's where the Grand Master actually comes in and tells him, like, no, you're not going to win in this situation. There is something called an absolute point. And basically an absolute point is a time in history that cannot change, meaning that if there was going to be a flood caused by XYZ and that XYZ was removed, well, there's going to be another element that causes that anyways, because there's a bigger, purpose down the line in the timeline. So if there's a Nexus event that needed to happen for whichever reason, or to avoid it to happen, basically this absolute point needs to be, or for all of this to end up at the void point, basically you have a few, absolute points. And in this case, like she mentioned, it was for when he meets up with Dormammu, bargains. And, saves the universe and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, that being said, he goes against what she says because he learns that she was taking magic from the dark arts, basically, or from Dormammu himself, and basically ventures on, and that's where we learn she also splits our Doctor Stranges. So Doctor Strange, kind of like this is the last point that she brings up with her. So Christine mentioned that Steven was able to do a hemispherectomy, which is partial or at least 50% of your brain being removed. So basically that's kind of what's happening here. There's 50% of his mind that basically was wiped out. If we're talking 1-to-1, but in this case he was literally split. You had the Strange that basically was the good guy. You also had the Strange that went on to create this chaos universe basically, and just kept on growing and growing and killing off everything as he went along. That being said, yeah, this brings us to Obeng. So Obeng basically is the dude that you see in the temple that allows Doctor Strange to use his basement to summon all of these tiny creatures or bigger creatures. So we've seen gnomes, we've seen dragons, we've seen Cerebus type with the 2 heads. We've also seen the Cernunnos. It's a mythic Celtic being with the horns, with the antlers. It's a Patronus, if you will. So basically, he defeats all of them, little by little. He learns his lesson, goes up, starts with a little guy, gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where he's able to see the Watcher or be aware that the Watcher is watching. And then later on, as he absorbs himself, he actually is powerful enough to now talk to the Watcher, and the Watcher talks back. So the Watcher is now a talker, which is crazy because he shouldn't have been. He's interfering. He's not meant to do any of that. So will the Watcher interfere furthermore, or is he meant for something more or bigger? I think that's exactly what it is. But we're definitely seeing the Watcher being defiant. That being said, Obeng basically, it was a personification of the Cagliostro, which is the book that the page was teared off, and where Doctor Strange learned how to warp time and use the stone. He also was a villain, or not a villain, but he was actually a nemesis to Doctor Strange, and he was actually, he actually got a hold of the Darkhold, which we saw in the WandaVision, and uses that to his advantage and try to defeat Doctor Strange. Anyways, in this case he doesn't, because they're both evil, I guess. He grows old and dies out, and then Doctor Strange himself, after many centuries of being there, becomes this crazy ass being. So the character that we see in the end of the movie, I forgot his name, basically could have also been doing this. So he wants to absorb many wizards and sorcerers, becoming this crazy ass wizard, then basically creating an absolute point or destroying an absolute point that may have made him a stronger being, or killing Strange altogether, or maybe to destroy the Ancient One. Anyways, that being said, where the hell was the TVA? I mean, the TVA, I know this is an absolute point, and I mean there's probably going to be an Nexus event later on, but like in the commercial you see the TVA removing whatever and then adding what the what if would have been. So did they have any impact? Did they foresee this as a correction in order to have a perfect timeline? So did they needed this universe to collapse on itself? Because if that's the case, remember, she splitted both Stephen Strange. You had the good one and then the bad one. And in this case, both Stevens or both Stranges are dead. And that universe crumbles and dies, but that universe, the other one where Strange is gone, still exists basically. So maybe that's the universe that still needs to carry on. Maybe there will be somebody else to pick up the helm, or wear the Eye of Agamotto, and take over the place or position of Strange. And I know we've seen Spider-Man with the suit, so I think that's what happens, is he becomes the next best of amongst all of us. I mean, Strange being the almighty sorcerer, or sorcerer supreme in this case, is still very human and still controlled by his emotions and everything that surrounds him basically, which you can't blame him. But that being said, maybe in Spider-Man No Way Home, that's where we're gonna see this lonely Strange that maybe wants to open up the multiverse, maybe find, I don't know, what is he trying to find, because what did he lose besides his hands? Anyways, put that in the comments below if you have any ideas, why exactly he would want to, open the multiverse, unless, and here it is that maybe Stephen Strange knew he has to open the multiverse and had Spider-Man believe that he did it in order to gain heroes that ultimately can destroy Wanda, her, chaos magic, and whatever other villains may protrude out of that. So maybe there is a bit of evil, but the bigger picture basically gets solved by recruiting through the multiverse. That's my take on it. And I think I can even take that to the bank. Anyways, guys, it's been great. We are so excited to have a few artists come up in the following episodes to come. We also want to thank you guys for all the support you've shown us. Be sure to like and subscribe as always if you are new to the channel. This is what we're all about, but we also sometimes have some artists who actually create these comic books come on our show. We have a little interview one-on-one, and it's just a great time. You can definitely see those in our past episodes. If not, we usually comment and review everything to do with comic books. So we're also going to comment about the new movies that are coming out, and some that have came out and didn't get time to actually review yet. So we'll get into that. Take it easy, guys. Peace.